Live, local. This is First Alert Weather Extra.
Hey, welcome to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson here at KPTV. This is our 7 p.m. weather show. Most weekdays we do this. We like to give you, let's just call it an expanded version of the weather. All right, we just finished our 6 p.m. show. We'll have an 8 p.m. newscast coming up. But in between, a little bit of weather here. 3 items I want to cover. One is, boy, this is a stable weather pattern. Pretty hard to find, pretty hard to fill that weather time with this very stable weather pattern, but we will. And then if you missed it during our 4 and 5 p.m. shows, everybody and every reporter in this town and every weather person in this town needs to go out to Vista House once to experience that extreme gorge wind that flows over that promontory that sticks out into the gorge. Well, today was Camila and Payton, so we're going to see about 6 minutes of them battling those 70-mile-per-hour gusts. That should be fun. So that's coming up in just a moment. And then the big question, when is it going to rain again? It's kind of weird that we're getting all this sunshine. It is going to rain again. It always comes back. But first, a beautiful sunset. Look at that nice sunset from our Chinook Winds beach cam. Oh, so nice. Temperatures out along the coastline, you'll see everybody in the 60s, at most areas at least in the 60s out there today. Salem, that's a live view right now, 46 out there, just a light northerly breeze, all right? And then back here in the metro area, that's a view from our river cam. It is breezy. We've got gusts to 23 in the city. That's actually out at PDX. But some parts of town getting more than others. East side of town always gets a much stronger easterly wind. Here are the current speeds. This is the average, the direction it's coming from. Oh, by the way, when we say it's an east wind, we always describe wind by the direction it's coming from, not the direction it's going. So if we say it's an east wind, it's coming from the east, so it's going from this way to that way. All right, but we've got the average speeds here, and then the gust, which is how high is it reaching, quick little gust. It's typically about a 3-second gust, I should say. But you can see gust of 30 way over the West Hills. The wind comes out of the gorge here and then kind of spreads out, slows down. So east metro, east of downtown, like outer southeast, outer northeast, then into like kind of central East Portland there, and then into the west end of the gorge. That's where we get the really strong wind. Although Sandy, you've had some breezes today, but outside of that area, it tends to be kind of calm. In fact, here are the peak gusts today. Everybody had at least a breeze. And even way out in Washington County, Hillsborough had a gust of 20, 19 at Cornelius Pass, but not too bad. And then you get that Sunset Transit Center. That's not a fun place to hang out when it's breezy with that wind coming right off the West Hills. Southeast Portland, that's right along I-205, gust of 36. Happy Valley, I believe this is actually up high on Mount Scott. But Gresham on Powell there, 47-mile-per-hour gusts, and then of course the really strong gusts were into the gorge. Now these are not insane speeds. This is typical. Sometimes in the winter we get these speeds around 70 in Corbett. Down on the river, there's a weather sensor there for windsurfers, gusted to 67 there, although I didn't check the last 2 hours. But even in the real populated areas, the suburban areas here, you've got gusts over 50 on the hills south of downtown Troutdale as you go up the hill. So gusts 50 to 60, that's pretty strong, but since it happens a lot in the wintertime, we don't tend to get much damage from those peak wind gusts. I want to mention one more thing, then we're going to go to the video from earlier. But we get this wind because we get what's called the Columbia Basin cold pool. Basically, a cold air kind of dome develops east of the Cascades because there are no weather systems coming through. We've got warm, high pressure overhead, very high freezing levels in the mountains. We've talked about that. So then it gets stagnant and cool air gets stuck in the valleys. The sun is too weak at this time of the year to warm the land. I mean, it's the same thing here in our western valleys. We had the last few days the fog. But the sun is too weak, the days are too short still. And so that's dense and heavy cool air. That's high pressure, the big H, all right? And if we didn't have any gaps in the Cascades below 4,000 feet, it would just sit there bottled up, like a bathtub. But it's almost like we've got that one little outlet for the bathtub here. There's about a 2-mile wide gap through the Cascades, the Columbia River Gorge, and Portland was settled and developed right where the east side of Portland especially, right where the wind comes out of the Columbia River Gorge and it kind of shoots out that way. So dense and heavy, you get the really high pressure pushing that through. And this pattern often goes on for day after day after day after day. Okay, so there's an extreme high wind spot out there, Vista House. You've maybe been out there in the summertime. It's beautiful. Crown Point. There's a weather sensor out there. But we decided, hey, everybody needs to go out there once and experience the extreme wind. It's basically a way you can experience hurricane force wind, get back into your car, drive back to regular life, and you don't actually have to go through a hurricane. So let's check out the video with Camila and Payton from our 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. newscasts. Let's go out to Vista House. We have Camila and Payton. Ladies, oh, look, the hair looks great. I mean, doing well. How is it out there?
All right, so it's a beautiful day up here at Vista House. Just some light wind, just a little bit of a breeze. It was interesting because even in the drive up, I mean, you can feel the car moving everywhere.
Yeah.
And you can see we're holding onto the railing here for dear life.
I've already lost my sunglasses.
Payton had sunglasses, R.I.P. to those. Oh, wow.
And they're gone. Okay. I have an anemometer here. And unfortunately, I don't think it goes above 29 miles an hour, so it's at least 29 miles an hour.
So we can tell you the wind gusts are at least 29 miles per hour. That's funny, right?
Yeah.
No, but truly, an unreal experience, and you can... This is crazy. You can see there are cars up here because people want to experience this.
My caps on the
You have to be very careful. We did see one guy already hit the ground. I mean, it's just absolutely bonkers. It really will knock you over. Wow. And I mean, it feels really cold.
It feels freezing.
It'd be interesting to see what the wind chill is.
Yeah. Oh, Camilla. They're so sweet.
Goodness.
Okay.
So, we brought a number of things to try to pull out while we were up here, just to experience kind of like how much you can do with the wind, you know?
Yeah.
But the second we stepped out of the car, we were like, let's just try to not blow away. How about that?
We're just surviving out here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're gonna show you what not to do all evening long, okay?
Yeah. So there you go.
Looks good. Looks like you're having fun. What do you think, Riel?
All right, that's all. I think right now. We'll come back.
That's all we have for now. We'll check back in a little bit. Hopefully we're still up here hanging onto the railing, so we'll send it back to you.
Payton and Camila, are you having fun? Are you having fun? That's what we want to know.
10.
Go.
Oh. Hello, guys. It's Payton Major and Camila out here at Crown Point. Okay, so we had some preconceived thoughts about what this would be like. Let me tell you, it's worse.
It's unbelievable. I mean, we're standing against this railing, and when you get a strong enough gust, it pins you against it, literally.
I have fallen. Camilla has almost fallen.
Oh, that's a good one.
Breathing is not an option up here.
No.
Okay, so we've already had gusts as strong as hurricane force wind, which is at least 74 miles per hour.
Yeah, so we already knew meteorologists were a little cuckoo. We found one here. This is Michael. You can see he's holding a handheld anemometer. What kind of readings have you gotten on this thing?
So far, we've gotten 83 mile an hour gusts.
Wow.
83.
So have you done this before? Have you been out here in these conditions?
Yeah, we've seen up to over 100 miles an hour here before, but this definitely was the strongest of the season so far.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a good one. What is that one? What's the reading on that?
We're like hitting 70 about.
That's disrespectful, honestly. Smart move with the goggles, Michael. And you said you're a meteorologist. What interests you about being in these conditions?
I just love it, you know. It's I find it exciting. I love weather, and this is my passion. So.
It's like, how often can you be in wind this strong without hurricane or without rain?
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the only times you can experience hurricane force winds, right, without being in a hurricane.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna find shelter and send it back to you.
Well, it is a windy day out in the Columbia River Gorge, and I guess that's an understatement. This is where we find meteorologists Payton Major and Camila Ortiz tonight. And are you guys hanging in there, and are you hanging on to something?
Okay, Pete and Mark. Well, first of all, we do want to say, before we talk about the wind, look at that sunset.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
This is why, you know, lots of people come up here to see these gorgeous views of the gorge. But then, you know, maybe they're coming up here and they didn't quite look at the forecast.
It's a little bit bananas up here. So we talked to somebody earlier who recorded an 83 mile per hour gust.
Yes.
And you know what? The longer we've been out here, Payton, I've gained a little bit of confidence. I decided I'd try riding the scooter around for a second.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Camilla's gonna try to do some she's not going to do any stunts. And also, I also want to emphasize she has a helmet on, okay? So safety first here. All right, Camila, go. And I do want to also say, right where she's at, I mean, it's got to be at least 60, 70 mile an hour gusts.
So
nearly impossible to walk, let alone scooter. Now, she did suggest bringing the bike. Oh, there she goes, wind behind her. The bike was a little too crazy, so we decided the next best thing is the scooter. All right, Camila, how was it?
You know, I'm going to say it's not ideal scooter ride at the moment, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, maybe next time. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Pete, we'll send it back to you, but I do want to give a little hint. We're going to have a science experiment or two coming up later. Yeah.
Okay.
Get ready.
And Payton, your hair there is like the unofficial Fox 12 wind gauge. We can tell which direction it's going. You too, Camila. Good stuff. Oh, boy. Well, it is a windy day out in the Columbia River Gorge, and that's where we find meteorologists Payton Major and Camila Ortiz tonight. And Mark, they're getting blown around. How's it going out there, girls?
Oh, they're parking. Okay, guys. All right.
Hey.
We're back up here. It's remarkable how the gusts just stay very constant, but from time to time, I mean, you really get slapped with a strong one.
Yeah.
And it just about knocks you over. Like that. But you know what, Payton? I think I've worked up a little bit of a thirst and an appetite. What about you?
Yeah, I'm parched.
Are you thirsty?
I'm really thirsty.
I think I should pour you a glass of water.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, of course. Oh, that's so generous of her.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
the wind blowing in your face.
Yeah.
You really get thirsty up here.
For sure.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Thank you. That's okay. How about, wait.
Oh, you got some
Are you hungry?
I'm starving.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Well, let's see if I can even get into the bag here. That'd be great. You know.
You really work up.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, an appetite up here.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, baby. No.
Apparently not great conditions for a picnic. And I've got to say, now that the sun has gone down, it really is getting chilly up here, too.
Yeah, it's really cold.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, so all joking aside, it's nice when it goes cold. Yeah, there's definitely been people coming up here just to experience this. I mean, it's wild to be in these sort of gusts.
I think something people don't think of is you have to park facing the wind.
Yes, that's huge.
You have heard a door snap because it's facing away from the wind. You open your door, and the wind takes your door too.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier in the floor, I lost my sunglasses. Rookie mistake.
I know.
Rookie.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, but it is amazing if you can do this safely. I wouldn't want to be up here with any stronger gusts than this, though. I mean, it gets to a point where it's pretty scary. So.
Yeah.
But an amazing experience.
Yeah, well, thanks for trying for the water.
I know, sorry.
That's all right.
All right, we'll send it back to you.
And that is what they spent their work day doing, folks, having a great time out there at Vista House. Meteorologists like that sort of stuff. It's kind of a rite of passage as well. Although one of our producers said, Mark, I haven't seen you out there in like 5 or 6 years, so maybe I need to get out there again. You know, we could have sent our coworkers instead to the nice warm coastline, but that wouldn't be as much fun on TV, right? Look at those high temperatures today. So 66 at Tillamook. That cold gorge wind does eventually spread over the coast range, and it goes down the west slopes of the coast range towards the ocean, and that downhill movement warms it up. Air mass warms up as it goes downhill. So that's why it was so warm at the coast. 65 at Newport, Yaha 67, must have been fantastic. 63 at Florence, Bandon 72, and then Port Orford right around 70, 69 degrees there. There were two unofficial stations that were just up in the hills above, I believe, Port Orford, kind of Humbug Mountain, kind of above Port Orford and Brookings, that were 78 and 79 degrees. I said those are unofficial because I believe the Oregon State January record is 77 or 78 degrees. So if those were certified as official, that could have been the new warmest January day down there. All right, so what do we see coming up? What's going to change from this point forward? There is no big change for 1 week, folks. We got lots of sunshine. We know this weekend's going to be sunny. Next chance for showers will be next weekend. Let's do the big picture here. The upper atmosphere, big blocking area of high pressure. This is a west-wide wintertime issue right now where it's dry across the entire west because this thing is blocking weather systems from approaching. On the backside, the airflow is kind of in this green area like this, and on the backside, it's really cold in the Midwest. okay, back to anywhere east of the Rockies there. What changes as we go through Saturday, Sunday, and Monday? Not really much of anything. Here's MLK Day. I mean, the orientation of it changes slightly. Systems go around. So this gives us a cloudless weekend, as that high pressure at the surface will continue blowing that easterly wind. It's a little weaker as we get into Wednesday. We were thinking yesterday at this time, in the last few days, we were thinking a little weather system might slide down kind of more like this, a little closer to us on Wednesday or Thursday and give us a few showers. It's obvious this is staying farther to the east. You can't really even see it. It's this little wiggle kind of here. So this means we took the rain chance out of Wednesday and Thursday. By Friday, could something change? Maybe. There's still kind of a hint of a little trough, as we call this, a dip in the flow here. So by the time we get to Friday, this could open us up into a more showery pattern. And in fact, you see a total change here by the time we get to Sunday. So this is 9 days out. Sunday the 25th. Cool air mass. I mean, snow's close to sea level up here. We don't think it'll come any closer. The ridge seems to be at least temporarily down. And so then we have kind of this west-southwesterly flow. This is actually a little milder than normal. So I'm thinking, my guess is, the next chance for showers is next Friday. More likely, next weekend could actually be cloudy and showery. But that's a ways out there, of course. Okay, so that's the plan. By the way, in case you're wondering, we've only technically had 5 dry days so far. But during the last 9 days, we've only had 3/100 of an inch of rain. We had 2 days in there, 3 days in there where it was a trace, 100th or 200th. So basically, we've had 9 mainly dry days, technically 5. Last year we had 18, so we had a long dry spell just like this last January. So I think it's unlikely we're going to break that record. All right, so here's a cloud cover forecast. By tomorrow morning, that cold pool of air is still stuck in the Columbia Basin, so you can see it's kind of outlined by the clouds. Totally clear west of the Cascades, little or no fog anywhere. And really, I'll just run through the whole forecast here. So through Sunday and then through Monday, not much of anything changes. I mean, our model wipes out some of the cool air east of the Cascades. I don't think that's going to happen. It'll still be cloudy over there. Still the easterly wind on Monday. So tonight, calm areas down into the mid to upper 20s. And then MLK weekend forecast right around 50 each day. Again, no dramatic changes coming up. And if we want to, I do want to mention the Cascades. Typically, this is a big ski weekend, the 3-day holiday weekend this month, and then President's Day next month. And it is, except ski area coverage is very thin. Ski Bowl just announced today they're only doing night skiing, which starts at 3 p.m. No more daytime skiing. I think they're worried about during these warm temps each afternoon, it's easy to shave off more of the snow to the edges. So they're trying to preserve the snowpack. The higher ski areas only have about 40 inches, and lower down it's only like 1.5 feet or so way down at government camp. So we'll see how it goes, but we don't see snow for at least another week. Quick look at the 7-day forecast. No big changes coming up. East wind will continue. We think it might back off a little bit Sunday and Monday. Still there on Tuesday, probably still some east wind of some sort Wednesday. I think it's pretty much toast by this time, and then we'd probably be into a light southerly breeze here. Overnight lows stay a little bit cooler than normal. High temperatures near or slightly above normal. And MLK Day, again, is going to be perfect, and the next chance for showers we think is coming up next Friday. I think I have one more graphic. Here we go. Next 7 to 10 days. So this will cover us through Sunday the 25th. In case you're wondering, any chance for lowland snow? Nope. Unlikely below 3,000 feet. Arctic blast, nope, we don't see that cold Canadian air making it down here. We'll watch, but we don't see it. And since we don't have any strong Pacific storms even next weekend, that sure doesn't give us a windstorm, and we don't see any flooding because, of course, there's almost no rain falling. Okay, so thanks for joining us for a First Alert Weather Extra. We will be back with you on Monday at 7 p.m. And in just about 40 minutes, we've got the 8 p.m. newscast right here on our streaming channel. See you later.